Hello and welcome to pmclounge.com. In this video, we are looking at project leadership, and there are actually 5 leadership styles that we are going to discuss. So, without further ado, let's get started and look into how you, as a project manager, can use these leadership styles and when should you use them. Quick reminder, please hit the like button and help us spread the word. So why exactly is project leadership important? Now, the fact is, as a project manager, you are not just required to manage costs and manage schedules and ensure milestones are being met, right? You as a project manager, you should already know that 90% of a project manager's time is spent in communication. So you should be a good communicator, you should be a good leader, and you should know how to manage stakeholders. These are some of the skills that software or artificial intelligence will not be able to replace, at least in the near future, right? So while scheduling and managing costs and budgeting and all that is something that software and artificial intelligence can take care of in the near future, softer skills are the kind of skills that machines and computers cannot really replace. So when we talk about project leadership, we also need to understand how a team within a project goes through different phases. And in this video, we are looking at how you can lead those teams when they are in these different stages. So we are specifically taking reference of Bruce Tuckman's team development, the stages of team development model. And there are 5 such stages. We've actually covered this topic in a separate video. So I'll share a link. The first link in the description is going to take you to that video where we talk about the 5 stages of team development as per Bruce Tuckman. But in each of those stages, what kind of leadership style should you as a project manager have? That's something that we are going to look at in this video. So let's move on. Now, the first stage is the forming stage, and this is actually the initial stage, right? This is when the team is actually coming together, and this is often when a new project is basically starting off. And when you're meeting new people, you could be nervous, you might not know them, you might not open a lot to them, right? You might not be open in your communication. You might not want them to know every single detail about you, right? This is that kind of stage. So as a project manager, you should be authoritative and you should have vision. You should be able to communicate the kind of vision that you have for your project. How you can do that is you need to ensure that team members are aware of their roles and responsibilities, because everyone's new to the project, right? You need to provide a vision. That's where the visionary part comes into the picture, right? So you need to provide a vision for the project, and so that the team can work towards that vision, right? You have to be clear about what are the next steps that the team will take, because you cannot leave the team on their own at this point in time. So you have to be authoritative and you have to show that you are visionary. This is the forming stage. Again, if you want to know the 5 different stages, if you don't know, what exactly is forming stage and you want to know more details, first link in the description, do check it out. Actually, if you are into reading articles, I'll also drop a link, the second one in the description, to an article on this topic. So you can check that out as well. Now, the second stage of team development is called storming stage. And you might think because they are using the word storm, this is a matter of concern, and this stage could be concerning, which might be true, because this is when your project has now started. The project is underway. And this is also when the team members are going to work together and they're going to become familiar with one another, right? And since they are familiar with one another, it is possible that conflicts may arise. It is possible that mistakes may be made, right? Now, as a project manager, when your team is in such a stage, you cannot be authoritative anymore. You have to be coaching, you have to be nurturing the team, and that is exactly what you as a project manager should do. And these are the kind of leadership styles that you need to basically display. You can focus on creating harmony within the team, and you should encourage relationship building, because remember, this is when the team members are getting to know each other, right? And this is it is possible that some conflicts may arise. You have to guide the team to solve any conflicts or issues or problems that arise in this stage, because remember, this is the storming stage, and you have to overall stay positive, and you need to motivate the team to keep the project on track and not get sidelined with any kind of conflicts and issues within the team, right? So that is the kind of leadership style that you need to basically display and possess when it comes to the storming stage. The third stage in team development is called norming stage. And what this basically signifies is that the team members and stakeholders, they now have a better understanding of each other's behaviors, and they're basically starting to kind of model the values that the project manager has instilled earlier on in the project. So the team members, the stakeholders, they get to know each other, they get to know the project manager also, and they get to understand, they basically start to have a fair idea of how they should be working in this stage. So as a project leader, as a project manager in leadership position, you need to adopt leadership styles of being a facilitator. You need to be democratic in such a stage, right? So you have to be a facilitator of conversations. You don't have to drive the conversations anymore. You have to just be a facilitator, and you have to basically trust the team members that they are going to sort things out on their own, because this is the norming stage. They are already past the storming stage, right? You have to encourage team collaboration and self direction. You need to provide the team with the opportunity to solve the problems independently, and that is something that you as a project manager need to basically display, the kind of leadership that you as a project manager need to display when it comes to norming stage. If you want to join our community, head over to pmclounge.com/community. You will find community members sharing their experience, testimonials. We have Facebook and LinkedIn group. Everything's free. Check it out. Okay, so the next stage is performing stage. And this is when your project is at a point in time where the team is basically working like a well-oiled machine. They're working well together. They have a shared vision in place. And this is also a perfect time to set realistic goals for completing the project and encouraging the team members to exceed expectations that the stakeholders have of them, right? So if you've played your role as a project leader correctly so far, your team at this stage should be energized and not burnt out, right? This is very important because you are already mostly 35-40% done with your project by now. You could be halfway done as well. And based on the kind of leadership style that you have uh, basically shown and used in your project so far, your team should feel like they are energized in getting the work done rather than having a feeling of burnt out because of ongoing issues and ongoing arguments and stuff like that, right? At this stage, you as a project manager should have pace setting and hands off leadership style. What this basically means is you need to encourage the team members to keep the momentum going, because this is where they can perform their best. You need to set realistic goals for bringing the project to a close, because it is likely that you're already halfway already there, and you need to provide guidance whenever necessary. But at the same time, you need to continue trusting your project team members to work well independently as well. So that's the performing stage, the fourth stage in team development. So the final stage of team development is called adjourning stage. And this is where the project has started to basically wind down. You're almost done with the project. All deliverables are already out there. And at this point, you basically need to ensure that the project closes on a positive note, and the team members, they are recognized for all the hard work that they have put in, and whatever that they have been able to achieve so far as part of this stage. And people may have feelings of negativity, or they might even mourn the loss of a project coming to an end. But you as a leader, you as a project manager and a project leader, you need to be empathetic, and that's the kind of leadership style that you need to display and show to your team members. So you have to provide support for any tasks, any final tasks that need to be closed off. You need to acknowledge individual accomplishments of your project team members, and at the same time you need to take the time off and celebrate the success of the team. So taking time off is not does not mean that you need to go on an individual holiday or an individual vacation, right? What this means is taking time off the project and celebrating the success of the project team members, the success of the project, right? So that's something that you as a project manager, as a project leader, needs to do as part of this stage. Now, you have used different kinds of leadership style throughout these stages, right? I hope you realize that. And you should also realize the fact that artificial intelligence and software, all this cannot do cannot come up with all these leadership styles and cannot make use of all these leadership styles. These are basically softer skills that only project managers should be able to kind of display. So, question for this video: which one of these stages do you think is most difficult to lead? As a project manager, which of these stages do you think will be the hardest to lead? Let me know in the comments. Definitely looking forward to your answers. And that's all that we had in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got value out of it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. And don't forget to check out our website, pmclounge.com. If you like our work, consider contributing to pmclounge.com/contribute. Thank you and have a nice day.